Why did I switch checkout lines 3 times in one trip and still finish dead last while my wife had already paid? It was a Tuesday at the Auchan, the kind of trip where you go in for 2 things and leave with 14. I had a baguette and a bag of tomatoes. That was the plan. And somewhere along the way, a packet of ground coffee jumped into the basket too. By the end of this, you'll understand the one number that decides whether you win at the checkout and why the honest answer is that you're supposed to lose most of the time and that letting go of it is freedom, not a tactic. So here's what actually happened. I walked up to the checkouts, scanned the lines, and picked the one that looked shortest. And the moment I committed, the second I was locked in, the line right next to me started moving faster. So I switched. Of course I switched. And the new line had a guy in front of me trying to pay with a torn 100-ruble bill that the cashier kept turning over and frowning at. So I switched again, and the third line had a woman who needed a manager, something about a price tag that didn't match the shelf. And then I saw my wife. She was over by the produce section, and she'd seen the whole thing. She didn't say anything. She just gave me that look, the one that says I knew before you did. She'd picked her line first, and she had already paid. And I just stood there with my basket, holding my baguette like an idiot. And I thought, this isn't bad luck. This is too consistent for bad luck. This happens every single time. There has to be something underneath it. And there is. It turns out the whole thing, the feeling that the universe is targeting my specific line, is math conspiring with my own memory. So let me show you what's actually going on. Starting with the most boring, most powerful number in the building. Forget human behavior for a second. Forget the torn banknote, forget the manager, forget my wife's look. Let's pretend everybody is a robot and every line moves at exactly the same perfect speed. Even then, even in that fantasy, the math is already against me. Here's the setup. There are N checkouts open and there's one of me. At any given moment, exactly one of those lines is going to be the fastest. So the chance that the line I happen to be standing in is the fastest one is 1 in N. Let's put a real number on it. Say there are 4 checkouts open, pretty normal for a Tuesday afternoon. 1 in 4 means I have a 25% chance of being in the fastest line. 25% I'm winning, which means 75% of the time I'm losing. Sit with that for a second because it's the whole video in one sentence. 3 times out of 4, somebody next to you finishes before you do. Not because you chose badly, not because you're cursed, just because there are 4 lines and only one of them can be first. And this is before any human stuff. This is the floor. This is the best case. Everyone's a robot. Nothing goes wrong version. And it already says expect to lose most of the time. My wife wasn't smarter than me at the Auchan. On this number alone, she had a 1 in 4 shot too. She just got the lucky quarter. And notice what happens when the store gets busier and opens more checkouts. 6 lines open. Now I've got a 1 in 6 chance, about 17%. 8 lines, 1 in 8, 12.5%. The more options there are, the lower the odds that I'm standing in the best one. More choice makes it feel worse. So already the feeling that the other line moves faster isn't paranoia. With 4 lines, 3 of the 4 lines around you are faster on average. You're surrounded by faster lines. That's not bad luck. That's just arithmetic standing right next to you in the bread aisle. Okay, but 25% isn't 0. I should win a quarter of the time. So why does it feel like I lose every single time? Why does it feel like 100%? That's where my own brain becomes the second saboteur. Think about what you actually notice at a checkout. You don't notice when the short line you join just quietly works. You pay, you leave, you forget it happened by the time you're in the car. That memory evaporates. There's nothing dramatic about things going fine. But the time you pick the short line and then watch it freeze while the guy fumbles a torn banknote, that one burns in. That one you tell your wife about in the car. That one becomes a story. Every time the short line betrays you is a memory. Every time it works is forgettable. This is selection bias, and it's not a flaw in you specifically, it's how memory is built. Memory keeps the failures because the failures hurt and the wins are boring. So you're not collecting an honest record of your checkout life. You're collecting a highlight reel of disasters. So picture it. Over a year, I do maybe 100 grocery trips. The math says I win the line roughly 25 of them, but I don't remember those 25. I remember the 75 where I lost, and even some of those I remember twice because they were spectacular. My internal stats say I lose 110% of the time, and that's the trap. The real number is 75% losses, which is bad enough. But memory inflates it until it feels like fate, like the universe has a personal grudge against your basket. It doesn't. Your memory just runs a very biased accounting department. And the look my wife gave me from the produce section, she wasn't reading the future. She was reading the same biased reel I was. She'd seen me do this before, and she knew the story was about to write itself. She wasn't smug about probability. She was smug about pattern recognition, which honestly is fair. Now, here's where it gets genuinely interesting, because so far I've been talking like all lines are equal and it's just luck which one's fastest. They're not equal. And the thing that decides the winner is the one thing you physically cannot see when you're choosing. When you walk up to the checkouts, what do you measure? Length. You count heads. 3 people in this line, 6 in that one, so you join the line of 3. Obvious, right? Length is the thing you can see, so length is the thing you optimize on. But queue length is the wrong variable. What actually decides how long you wait isn't how many people are in front of you. It's how long each of them takes at the register. And how long each person takes varies wildly. That variation has a name, service time variance. Let me make it concrete. A line of 3 people, but 2 of them have weird items. One's got a coupon that won't scan, one's got produce that needs a code typed in by hand, and one of them is about to say, wait, do you have a smaller bill? That line of 3 can take 10 minutes. Now look at the line next to it. 6 people, but every single one of them is holding 1 bottle of water. Beep, beep, beep. 6 bottles, 6 taps of a card, 90 seconds, done. The line of 6 destroys the line of 3. The longer line wins easily, and this is the cruel part. The number of people, you can see that perfectly. But what's in their baskets, whether they've got a coupon, whether they're going to argue about a price, whether they'll pay an exact change versus fumbling, that's invisible. It's hidden inside the basket and inside the person. So you're optimizing on the one variable you can see, which happens to be the wrong variable, while the variable that actually matters is completely hidden from you. You're choosing the line of 3. You're walking straight into the slow one, and you have no way to know it. That's what got me at the Auchan. The line I picked first looked shortest. It was shortest, and it was slow because shortest tells you almost nothing about fastest. I read the only sign I could read, and the sign was lying to me. Not on purpose. It just doesn't carry the information I actually needed. So now we've got 2 forces stacked up. One, with 4 lines, you lose 75% of the time by pure arithmetic. 2, even when you try to be clever and pick the short line, you're using a measurement that can't see the thing that matters. And I haven't even gotten to the worst mistake yet, the one I made 3 times in a row. The switch. The fatal move. The thing I did 3 times at the Auchan while my wife watched. Let's actually do the math on switching because it is so much worse than your gut thinks it is. Here's the brutal mechanic. When you leave a line, you don't get to take your spot with you. You lose your queue position completely. All that time you already invested, standing there, moving up, gone, worthless. You abandon it. And then when you join the new line, where do you go? The back. Not the middle, the back. You start over from scratch. So the weight you already paid in line 1, you don't get credit for it. And now you have to pay a fresh weight in line 2 from the very beginning. So you pay twice, once for the partial weight in the line you left and once for the full weight in the line you joined. And here's the headline result. If you switch the moment your line stops moving, your expected weight roughly doubles. Doubles. You didn't reduce your weight. You bought a second one. And it gets dumber because the reason your line stopped moving is usually that one person at the front has a problem. The torn banknote, the price check. But that problem is temporary. The moment it clears, your line is about to surge. And that's exactly the moment impatient me bails right before the payoff. That's literally my Auchan run beat for beat. Line 1 stalled, so I jumped to line 2, torn banknote. So I jumped to line 3, the manager call. Every line I joined at the back, right as the line I'd abandoned was clearing. I didn't have bad luck. I manufactured my own delay 3 times with my own feet. And meanwhile, the calmest possible strategy, pick a line, any line, and just stay in it, quietly beats the switcher almost every time. Not because staying is magic, because staying doesn't pay the double weight penalty. Doing nothing is mathematically a strong move. That's a humbling sentence to say out loud. My wife's whole genius? She picked a line first and she didn't move. That's it. That was the entire strategy. No probability calculations, no scanning baskets for coupons. She just refused to pay the switching tax that I cheerfully paid 3 times. Now, I'd be lying if I said never switch. There is exactly one situation where switching is the rational move, and it's worth being precise about it because most of the time you're not in it. Switching is rational when you have actual new information, not a feeling, information. Specifically, the person at the front of your line has an obvious, serious service time problem. 40 coupons fanned out on the belt, a price check that's clearly going to need a manager, a real visible blockage. And this part matters just as much. The line you'd move to shows none of those signs. Nobody fanning out coupons, nobody waving down staff, just normal baskets. Now you're not switching on impatience, you're switching because you can see the hidden variable for once. The service time problem became visible. That's the difference. Switching because your line feels slow, that's the trap, that's the double wait. That's me at the Auchan. Switching because you've spotted a concrete front of line disaster that the other line doesn't have. That's real information, and acting on real information is allowed. But be honest with yourself about which one you're in. 90% of my switches were impatience wearing the costume of strategy. I told myself I had information. I didn't. I had a feeling and two restless feet. The torn banknote guy was a real signal, but by the time I'd switched twice, I was just thrashing. So let's go back to me standing in the Auchan with my baguette, my tomatoes, my packet of coffee, and my wife giving me that look from the produce section. Here's what I understand now that I didn't understand then. With 4 lines open, I was going to lose 3 times out of 4 no matter what I did. That's the one in N. My memory was always going to keep the losses and throw away the wins. The short line I picked was judged on length, which can't see the thing that actually matters. And every time I switched, I doubled my own weight. And here's the one number to take with you, 75%. With 4 lines, expect to lose roughly 3 times out of 4. Not as a worst case, as the normal case. The annoyance you feel in that line isn't bad luck and it isn't a curse. It's exactly precisely what's supposed to happen. And that's the part that actually set me free. Because once you know you're supposed to lose most of the time, the losing stops being a personal insult. It's not the universe targeting you. It's 4 lines and one of you. So you can just stop, pick a line, stay in it, let the 75% happen. This was never a video about how to win at the checkout. I don't think you can win at the checkout. It's about how the thing that felt like fate was just math conspiring with my own memory. And once you see the math, the spell breaks. So next time you're standing there watching the line next to you pull ahead and your feet start itching to switch, let them itch. You're in the 75%. That's not failure. That's just Tuesday. My wife knew it all along. Now we both do, and neither of us switches anymore.